This won't be a long video, but if you're about to play phase 3 of Ashes of Creation, it might save you dozens of hours. It doesn't matter if you're a total newbie or a returning alpha god, this is for you. Ashes of Creation can be punishing and it won't guide you, but I can help. So hit like, subscribe and watch till the end, or enjoy the pain of learning the hard way. I am Flanker and we're about to get serious. Let's start with something that may sound basic, but stay with me. Because this isn't about knowing what a mount is, it's about how you use them and how many players screw that part up. The world of Verra is already huge and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. Travel time matters, wasting minutes on food adds up, so mounts aren't optional, they are crucial. Here is what I would recommend. Obviously, get the fastest mount you can afford, but don't rush into buying it the moment it appears on the market. Prices will spike hard in the first 24 hours, so waiting a day or two could save you serious gold. And don't stop at one, always carry a second mount. Not because it looks cool, but because when your first one dies or you sacrifice it in PvP, it's important to stay mobile. Now, aquatic mounts. They are not just for crossing rivers. Some of them allow underwater breathing. That means sneaky traveling, seafloor resource gathering, or ambushing someone from below when they least expect it. Just don't make one classic mistake. Always come to a full stop before dismounting underwater. If you jump off mid-motion, the mount can drift away and you might end up drowning. It's easy to treat your storage like a trophy room, but if it's full of junk you'll never use, that's not strategy, that's clutter. So start using the marketplace. It's not just a place to dump loot, it's a legit way to make gold, clean out your stash, and maybe even grab a few underpriced items if you know what to look for. You'll need to hit level 10 to sell items, but buying? No restrictions. So even if you're early game, you can still use it. One thing to keep in mind, each node has a limit of 20 active sell orders per player, but if you max out in one location, that doesn't mean you're done, just head to a different node and list there instead. Also, do not just throw items up randomly, find out where the active trading hubs are. In phase 2 it was usually Winstead or Mirrorlet, but in phase 3 that might change depending on node progression. Go where the traffic is and always check prices before you list. If you go too high, you're not just failing to make gold, you're actually losing it thanks to listing fees. Nothing worse than burning money and wasting time. You just killed a named mob and it dropped a weird looking material or recipe. You check the tooltip, no obvious use, little to no information, nothing shiny. Tempted to vendor it? Stop. If it's a crafting material or recipe tied to level 10 or 20 gear, do not throw it away. Figure out what's it used for first, seriously. Some of those mats only become valuable once a specific crafting station goes live, like the journeyman workbenches for example. And once that happens, demand spikes hard. Prices jump, people scramble, and guess who makes easy gold? Well, not me. Back in phase 2 I sold those mats too early, and when the stations dropped, I watched others make a fortune with the stuff I had trashed several weeks before. So yeah, I learned the hard way, but you don't have to. This also goes for things like emblems or runes. Just because they're not usable now, doesn't mean they're useless. Some items are just waiting for the right phase to become essential. So when in doubt, always check a database or ask someone. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of having alt characters in MMOs, as I prefer sticking to one main. But in Ashes of Creation, alts can be a serious asset, especially if you know how to use them right. Let's start simple. The market. If you're checking prices across multiple nodes, having a few low-level alts parked in key locations can save you a ton of travel time. Instead of burning hours riding around, just log in, check what you need, and move on. But that is not all. With artisan skills being limited per character, alts give you the flexibility to specialize. Want to focus on processing different materials or crafting? Set up alts with those skills. Keep them stationed in nodes with the right workbenches and let them handle the grind. There is absolutely no need to drag your main across the world just to place another work order. And look, I get it. Managing multiple characters is not everyone's idea of fun. But in phase 3 and beyond, the people who use alt smartly are going to have a clear edge. They're not just extra characters, they are tools, they are assets, they are efficiency. Use them right and they will pay you back tenfold. Ashes of Creation has a decent amount of PvP. Guild wars, caravan raids, node sieges, tournaments, and more is coming. But if you're into PvP, here is the truth. Getting to max level, picking a build and gearing up that is just step 1. Anyone can do that. So, if you want to actually master PvP, especially group or large scale, you need to go further. Focus on the real skills. Start by learning how to position yourself in the chaos and play around your team. Understand how your class synergizes with others in your group or raid. Your individual skills matter, but don't forget about the teamwork. Then, build awareness of your surroundings, your enemies, your cooldowns, and the flow of the fight. And finally, learn when to engage, when to hold back, and when to disappear. The skill ceiling is pretty high, and that's a good thing. And if that challenge excites you, then you're going to have a blast here. Now, what if PvP is not your thing? Well, not a problem. Most systems are opt-in, and the game gives you ways to avoid conflict when you want to. Yes, a few edge cases exist, but they're not that common. Ashes of Creation, by design, creates a lot of friction between players, but it doesn't really force you into conflict. You can avoid it, or you can master it. The choice is yours. If you're just starting out in Ashes of Creation and you're wondering which artisan path to take, do not overcomplicate it. I'd recommend going with Gathering. It is straightforward, useful at all stages of the game, and doesn't require deep planning to get started. You learn it fast and you're almost always getting something valuable in return. What I do not recommend, especially for beginners, is jumping straight into processing or crafting without knowing exactly why you're doing it. Those paths can be resource heavy, slow to level, and much harder to recover from if you waste time or gold in the wrong area. So, unless you have a clear plan, stick to Gathering first. Then, once you understand the systems better, you can branch out. If you want a proper head start, I have 3 beginner-friendly guides on my channel, one each for Gathering, processing, and crafting. They're a few months old, and while some things have changed since then, they can still give you a solid foundation to build on. And yes, updated versions of those guides are on the way. So, if you don't want to miss the moment they drop, hit subscribe now and check out the current videos while you wait. If you're new to Ashes of Creation or just playing casually, here are a few simple, low commitment ways to make some gold. You won't get rich overnight, but you will stay afloat. The first and easiest method, farm raw resources and sell them. Plenty of players need them or are just looking to power level their processing skills and need tons of materials to do it. You can be the guy who supplies them. Also, you can talk to the requisition agent in a node. They will show you active buy orders and which resources are required to complete them. Since buy orders are a great way to farm node currency, and not everyone has the time or patience to gather, it means that you can take that role, sell in bulk, and profit. Alternatively, you can just throw the resources on the marketplace. Raw materials, especially in-demand ones, usually sell fast. Another simple trick: chop trees and sell wood. Fuel is required for processing, and wood is the easiest one to get. Players are lazy. They'd rather buy a clean stack than go out and cut it themselves. It will not make you rich, but you can repeat this in every node you pass through. It adds up. And finally, don't forget about AFK fishing. It's perfect for when you need a break, wanna grab food after grinding for 10 hours, or even if you're working remotely. Got a second monitor and a YouTube video playing? Cool, your character can be fishing in the background. Just don't forget there is a 30-minute AFK timer. If you go full idle, the game will kick you out and your perfect low-effort grind session will end with a login screen. If you played on Lotharia during Phase 2, you probably noticed there is a Discord server where players hang out. And something tells me that other servers have their own Discords as well. Joining one is a smart move, especially if you're a new player. You can find groups, connect with guilds, and stay updated on mayor announcements or world events. You can also find buy and sell posts there, or share your own if you're looking to trade. And in general, don't be afraid to ask questions, whether it's there, in global chat, in comments under this video, or even in my own Discord. The link is in the description, by the way. I can't speak for the whole player base, but I'll say this: if you're one of my viewers or subscribers, I'll be glad to help you. We all started from zero at some point. The only difference is whether you ask or stay stuck. Okay, even if you are not big into artisan skills, do not ignore artisan gear. It doesn't just boost your crafting or gathering, it actually gives you a small bonus to combat stats too. And here's the thing, this gear doesn't require a specific character level. All you need is the right certification level in that artisan skill, which means you can enchant it using novice scrolls and squeeze a little more value out of every piece. Now, if you don't plan on touching artisan skills at all, that's fine. But if you care about min-maxing, it might be worth power leveling a few specific skills just to wear the artisan gear that gives you the stats you need. Once again, it's not mandatory, but someone out there will do it, and they will have an edge you won't. Joining a static group or a guild can completely change your experience in Ashes of Creation. And when I say completely, I mean completely. Especially if you find people who share your playstyle and actually make the game fun to play. Social interaction is not just a side activity here, it's a core part of the design. And also, when you're a part of a guild, you gain access to way more opportunities in content, in strategy, in progression. So, start simple. Figure out what you enjoy most in the game. Is it PvP? Or maybe crafting? Or just vibing and playing casually? Each server has plenty of guilds, and chances are one of them matches your tempo. So, your future soulmates who will understand your dumb jokes are somewhere out there. You just need to find them. Now, can you play solo? Absolutely, the game allows for it. But let's be honest, doing so limits your access to certain types of content and gameplay, and that's just how Ashes is structured for now. However, Phase 3 is all about adding more systems, more content, more variety. And over time, the game may and most likely will become more solo-friendly. But right now, Ashes is still a world that rewards collaboration. And if you want to see what it really has to offer, don't be afraid to find your people. So yeah, you can go alone, but with others, you will go further. Glint is a strange one. It's not just a resource and not quite a currency, it sits somewhere in between. You mainly obtain it by killing mobs, and if you use it right, it can turn into serious gold over time. The biggest mistake you can make, selling it to a vendor. Sure, maybe during the very start of the game, if you need starter gear, fine. But beyond that, vendor selling is a last resort. Instead, stack it up and use Glint to buy commodities, move them via caravans, and flip that effort into real gold. That's where the long-term value is. Now, a warning, and this one matters. If you farm Glint for a while, make sure to deposit it from time to time. Do not walk around with hours worth in your bags. If you die, you will lose a chunk of it. And that is pain you could have avoided with one trip to the nearest storage. As you level, keep mental notes of decent Glint farming spots. You'll want places you can farm solo, in small groups, or in full parties. Flexibility is key. The more options you know, the better you can adapt. Also, remember, new biomes are coming throughout Phase 3. That means fresh areas, new mobs, and potentially better farming spots. Explore, test, track what works. Glint is valuable, but only if you treat it that way. Caravans and Ashes of Creation are a deep system. Picking the right components, planning efficient routes, and avoiding PvP ambushes, there's a lot to consider. If only there was a detailed guide covering all of that in one place. Oh wait, that video already exists on my channel. So, if you're serious about caravans, or just want to avoid losing your cargo to a mistake that could have been prevented, make sure to watch it. I break it all down, step by step, no bullshit. Also, definitely check out the Caravan Planner. Link is in the description. It's a great tool where you can choose the node of departure and destination, cargo capacity, and find out how much you can earn. Huge shout out to the team at Ashes Forge for putting it together. So, caravans can be insanely profitable, if you know what you're doing. And fortunately, the tools in the guide are already there. Once you hit level 10, you unlock the ability to become a citizen of any node that has reached stage 3 or higher. Just head to the town hall, talk to the administrator, and you're in. Citizenship gives you a few solid perks, like lower taxes, increased storage, and even the right to vote or run in mayor elections. But here's the thing, not all nodes are created equal, and your choice can affect your day-to-day experience. Some nodes are positioned close to good farming spots, ideal if you spend a lot of time there. Others evolve into major economic hubs filled with trade activity and upgraded workbenches for processing and crafting. Certain nodes may be strategically important for your guild, especially if you're heavily involved in politics. And sometimes it's just practical. You might simply need more storage space in a specific region. Whatever the case, each node comes with its own advantages. The smart move is to pick one that aligns with your playstyle and priorities, not just the one that looks cool or is nearby at the moment. And if you ever decide to change your mind, you can renounce your citizenship by speaking with the town hall administrator again. Just know, there is a cooldown before you'll be allowed to join a different node, so switching back and forth isn't free. Ashes of Creation is still in active development, and Phase 3 is part of the testing process. So, no, this isn't the final product. And yes, things will break. Fights might sometimes feel unbalanced, systems may not fully work, and some updates will land rough. But that's the point. You're not just playing the game, you're helping it evolve. Your feedback matters, and if something is off, don't ignore it, report it. Because every time you do, you're helping the devs smooth the rough edges and get closer to what the game is meant to be. And keep this in mind. No matter when you join the alpha, you're always playing the worst version of the game you'll ever see. From here, it only gets better, and your input helps drive that progress. Not gonna lie, my throat is literally killing me right now, but we're almost there, my friend. If it's not too much to ask, I want you to listen to this one and fully comprehend it. Alright, so there will be moments in Ashes where you win big, and moments where everything goes wrong. You might lose a caravan, miss a last hit, get outplayed in PvP. Or maybe you'll get lucky, pull off an insane fight, or make more gold than you expected. Whatever it is, good or bad, do not get stuck in it, because in a few hours or days, it won't matter as much as it does at that moment. What feels like a disaster today might end up being just a story you'll laugh about later. Do not take things too close to heart. Ashes is a living world, and it's designed to throw surprises at you. No matter who you are, casual, hardcore, solo player, or a guild leader, you will have victories and defeats. It's part of the experience. So, when things go wrong, breathe. And when things go great, smile and keep moving. Because nothing lasts forever, and that's the beauty of it. If you learned something new after watching the video, drop a like and consider subscribing. There is more coming, and I promise it will be worth your attention. I am Flanker, and I'll see you soon.